Hi everyone, this is Rebecca, and I'm going to show how I like to roll my flowers. This is one of my flower boards I like to keep for inspiration in my room. And what we're going to do is begin by stamping your stamp in your favorite ink, and I use Tuxedo Black, and then die cutting it. And I'm going to be using a Brilliance Pearlescent Coral for this coloring. And I'm just going to go right on the tips. Now these are Heartfelt Creations sponge daubers, and because I did not have a whole lot of Brilliance ink pads, I devoted those daubers just to those inks. So I do not use these unless I am using my Brilliance ink pads. They're very good. They do get into little cracks and crevices because you're able to get into the sides along those little 3 points because they form a little triangle. But I'm just quickly coloring this coral on the edge of the petals. Half the fun is coloring, and you can use whatever kind of inks you have available to you. Now keep in mind, if you mist them with water, how your ink will react when the water hits that. So keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side. And now I'm going to bring in my mat, and we're going to take Stamped Image face down, and I am going to use, they're actually, I should back myself up here. There are a few little snips that you can make on the back of the larger flower. And that will just loosen up, oh, it's right there. That will just loosen up those petals. All right. Now we're going to take that, and I'm going to be using my 8mm, and I am going to do what I call the push-pull method, and that is pushing on the petal and pulling towards the center. Push, pull, all the way around the flower. You'll notice that my hand is away from the flower, and that is just because I do not want to hold it in place. I want it to walk around, so to speak, on the mat. Now I'm rolling with my 3mm on those smaller tips that I snipped earlier. Then I'll go back in with my 8, and I'm rolling this. And now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to punch down into the center and roll, just like so. We'll do that again. Push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. I've taught this class a number of years, and that is just an easy way to remember what to do once you get home after class. So now I'm going to punch around in the center again and set that off to the side. And now we'll do the third and final. You can layer, you can have these single layer, double layer, triple layer, whatever you like. Each one will give a different look. Okay, now I'm going to take some glue, offset the petals, hold it in place, and repeat. Again, offsetting the petals and attach. Lift it up a little bit. Okay, that is how I like to roll my flower. Now the greenery, or the leaves, I do fairly quick. I like to take crushed olive and just kind of go down the center. And then I'm going to take peeled paint and go around the edges. Also, to add a little hint of shadow, I'm going to pick it up and just give a little bit of forest moss to the edge. And maybe one swipe down the center. Okay, now I'm going to bring back my molding mat. I'm going to do the outer edge roll on this one, and I'm going to switch to my 3mm, and I'm going to start by going right around the edge, outer edge roll, just rolling that along the edge. Again, same process. Then I'm going to flip this using my 8mm and do a little circular roll, just like so. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to roll down that little stem. Now once you create this, you're probably like, what can I do? Well, let me show you what you can do. So now that we have our flower rolled and our leaves, and off camera I did 2 more leaves. Off to the side, I also die cut a couple additional pieces. And we're going to put together a really quick card. You could go around the edges with a little bit of that forest moss just to give this a little bit of shading, little distressed look. It also kind of gives the illusion of a mat. So very quickly, a little of that. I go in with my glue. Little goes a long way with this glue. I'm going to attach. Oh, almost. No, actually it is. Going to attach. A little bit off there. No worries. A little trim never hurt anyone. Okay, now I am going to take this little tag piece. This paper is the Dream collection from Stamperia. You can't seem to ever keep it in the store. We're just going to go edge to edge like that, keeping it in the confines of the card. Now, I took, excuse me, I took forest moss and I just dabbed it on these die cuts, and now I am going to just add a little bit of glue and attach that. Sorry, right there. Attach this right here. And now I'm going to kind of lay out where I think I'm going to have everything go. Bring in my flower. And I'm going to tuck that in there. But I'm going to add a few die cut pieces. If you've ever taken any of my classes, you know I love this Tim Holtz piece. I can't remember which. It was a Christmas set that it came from, and I just love it. And what I'm going to do to these is I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to snip them apart. I love to snip these apart. And then I'm going to kind of decide and tuck a few in there. Oops, drop that one. Not going to make it onto the card. I'll snip that there. Okay, so what I have done is I have attached the flower and the petals, and then that Tim Holtz die I snipped apart and placed behind a couple of the petals as well as the leaves. And I'm just going to lift that up, tuck that behind, and secure that. And now next what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, oh, I have a few more pieces in there. I'm going to bring in a little bit of glue onto the die cut ends. I'm going to take this neutral glitter. I wouldn't say that's neutral, but it'll give it a little bit of a zing. A little pop. We're going to add some Nuvo drops to the center. Okay, when that happens. But when it does, I just add more. I'll pick it up and tap it. And there you have a quick card put together with your 3D flower that you just rolled. Okay, so now that you have all these lovely flowers rolled and leaves rolled, you might be wondering what to do with them next. Well, it's real simple, very easy, and it adds a quick wow to your project. We're just going to add a little bit of adhesive here and there on the back of this die cut. I believe this is also from Heartfelt Creations, their Lush Lilac collection. Just going to put that on like that. Going to attach it. And I just noticed that I didn't get one of those up. All right. Now to lay these, they're all single layer right now. I may double them up this one is a triple layer and I haven't added a center yet to it. But what I like to do is kind of lay out where I think where my stuff is going to go. And I'm going to layer this up while I'm thinking of it. Here we go. So I like to lay my flower in position because I like to keep in the confines of the card. So I'm going to add some glue and attach it to my card. Now it's easier to add the glue and lift the petal up than what would be to try to, I'd have to add another flower if I didn't succeed. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to attach it. Now if I want to, I can add a drop of glue right behind there and glue it down like so, and still got that dimension. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side, and I'm putting it in at an L formation. L formation, it kind of looks like a little bit of an awkward L, but you get the idea. Now it's a matter of layering. You can put as many or as little as you want. I mean, you could slap a sentiment on. Oh, this is driving me nuts. Hold on a sec. There we go. You can layer. I mean, you could slap a sentiment on this thing and send it off, and it's a happy birthday to you. It's great way to get a wow factor. And I'm just going to layer a couple more. I'm going to come up like that on this side. I might tuck in another leaf right next to that one. I'm going to put a smaller one right up there. One tucked behind here. And underneath there. I'm going to double up this flower. And double up that one. Now I haven't added any centers to them, so what I'll probably do is grab my Nuvo drops, tap it, and I'm going to give it a good squeeze. Same thing here and here. I'm going to tap that to straighten them out a little. And there you have a 3D card, or 3D flowers on a card. I haven't put a sentiment on it. Something very simple can be stamped in the corner, a tag stuck in the center with a little twine, numerous possibilities. But that is how I roll my flowers. And if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. I would be more than happy to share how I do some of my other flowers as well. Thanks for watching.